Okay. So I'll stand back here, so first question is actually towards everyone on the panel here. What first attracted you to BNI? Ladies first. Made you stay?
I guess I'm going first because I have the mic. So I've been part of BNI in this group for about 6 months now. And what initially attracted me was hearing about the relationship process built through BNI and the structure and accountability. So I've also been part of other groups before, and it felt great from a meeting people standpoint, but you'd meet a bunch of people and then everyone would leave and nothing would really happen afterwards. And so I like the idea of both building relationships and also being part of a group where we were committed to helping each other grow, because that's really the goal of business, is wanting to learn more, grow, and then I toured a couple of other BNI groups, kind of got the feel for it, and then decided that it was something I wanted to join and be a part of.
All right. So get this. What attracted us to BNI and what made us stay?
Oh, I forgot what to say part. Keep
Oh,
going.
this-
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I am a doctor. I didn't learn anything about business or marketing or networking or relationships for that matter. So the main thing that drew me to BNI was I was invited to visit, and it felt like a small gang of business owners committed to each other. And I really wanted to learn how to be a business owner. I had owned my own practice for, I think, 6 years at that point. And, while being what I think is a really good dental practice, we were failing in certain areas of business. And so I learned a lot, by becoming a member. And the reason I stayed is definitely the relationships that I've made along the way, and kind of some of the partnerships that have come out of it. So
Thank you. Well, I've been in this group. This is my 4th year. And what brought me to BNI was I needed business. I had like 150 empty steel containers and I needed to rent those out. And so word of mouth, referrals, doing good work is what really I think is the best marketing for us. So we joined the group, and what's kept me in it is that it works. I'm getting business and I get to give business, which is actually better because I get to meet a lot of different professionals who services I may need, or my friends may need, and I can connect them with trusted people. So that's what kept me going.
So I was in a BNI chapter about 25 years ago, so I'm probably dating myself, but and I got out of that. But when I moved over here to the west side, I needed somebody to talk to, a group to be a part of, because I started my business 4 years ago. And BNI was one of the things that I reached out to, and it's been great, great relationships, great connections. But like what Matt said, it's not just that part of it. It's being able to have someone come up to you and say, "Hey, do you know anybody that does mortgages?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I got a guy. I know a guy that does a great job." And you have that in your back pocket. And I've got people that have been in BNI in our chapter in Grand Haven that have left that I still am friends with. So you create this relationships, and they're lifelong relationships too.
Awesome. This is going to be a question for Dan. So if you could tell a new visitor one thing about BNI that they may not expect, what would it be?
I would say don't expect leads. And what I mean by that is don't think you're just going to come in, sign up, and sit down, and people are going to start handing you leads. It's not how this works. You have to put some time into this. You have to do one-to-ones with other members. You need to get to know their business, and they need to get to know your business. If you sit down with somebody, you start to realize, like, holy smokes, I didn't know you did that, or I didn't know that was part of your business. I had no idea that's how it worked. And they're going to say the same thing about your business. And it's going to be very hard for someone to refer you to somebody if they don't know you. And it just doesn't work. You have to get into this. You have to be a part of it. BNI's got a great support system. They just redid their whole education piece of this that's in the back end. And they made it a lot easier. So kind of like what what Dr. Nick said, he didn't have any of those things taught to him in school about business, about networking, about doing the things outside of it. And all those resources are there. So you got to put the work in. It just doesn't happen overnight. And it's really a great organization, and it's a great program that you have that you can be a part of. So you got to put the work in. The leads just don't get handed to you.
All right, we're gonna move over to Matt on this question. So what is one skill or mindset you developed in BNI that has helped you outside your network?
That's a good one. I think it really has helped me perfect my pitch. When I started this, I didn't know anything about storage. I didn't know anything about moving. I'm a business owner, an entrepreneur. But it really helped me practice. And you meet with everybody. I mean, some people I've had one-on-ones with maybe 6 times now in this group. And you really can perfect how you communicate your business to the broader population. And you also can see in people's faces what kind of excites them or what they didn't know about what you did. So you kind of have an idea of good triggers. And that's what I've realized from it.
We'll go to Dr. Nick now. Can you share a specific success story that came from BNI referral or connection?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I mean, I have a few. I would say the one success story I was thinking of was not even my success story. It's actually, I think, Kevin's. Because it's just recently. So I was just getting my hair cut regularly, and the lady that normally cuts my hair was complaining to the chair next door, who's like her coworker, about the price of car insurance, right? And so right away, I'm going, hey, I know a guy, right? So and I asked a couple questions, and I'm like, listen, I've got a guy named Kevin. The sarcasm is strong with him, right? You're gonna like him a lot, and I guarantee. I said I don't know anything about insurance, but I know Kevin. I guarantee he could save you money. And I think it took her a minute to reach out, but then like the day after she reached out, Kevin let me know, hey, I saved her a bunch of money. And then I was just in like 2 weeks ago, and all she talked about the whole time was how, one, yeah, you're a lot. But two, how grateful she was that it saved a bunch of money. And so I was like, all right, this is really awesome. It really works. I was just out in the world doing my own thing. But because Kevin and I have got to know each other through this process, I was able to set him up with somebody. So it really works.
And then we'll go over to Lauren. How has BNI helped you build confidence when speaking about the business?
Yeah, I think a bit of what Matt said, the repetition of it. So I'm not going to lie, when I first joined 6 months ago, I was like, well, why not give this a try? But also, I have to commit to being there every Thursday morning at 7. I'm not a morning person, and I'm going to have to talk about my business all the time. And at first, I was like, oh, that's a lot. But it's been such a healthy thing. And it's given me a lot of confidence talking about my business, because every single week I have commitments, if you will, to come up with something to say about my business and really hone what I want to communicate, what people are interested in. And that's from the 45 second. That really means you have to get clear on what's the thing you want to communicate this week, and not repeat yourself, or maybe you do want to repeat yourself. That's okay. And then the one-on-ones, those are longer formats. So then what do you want to communicate about yourself, about who you are, what you care about? How do you, build that relationship with another person while also telling them about your business and learning about theirs? So each of those, and then, the feature presentations that we do that are 10 minutes, having to really sit down and write out, a presentation and tell that story is another way that I had to think about my business. And so each one of those has given me a different sense of confidence in who we are. And now I feel like I could talk to anybody and like passing really quick about who we are, or in a longer, meeting about who we are, and really feel that I, can stand for my brand, but also, just be confident in what we do. So.
Awesome. And then we'll finish with a question for everyone. What has been the biggest personal benefit of being in BNI beyond just business
I guess I'll start since I have the mic. Not to beat the same drum, but relationships. I think we were missing a sense of community around business. So we opened our business 2 years ago. And just being around other people who are also growing their business feels like you feel seen and heard in a different way than just talking to your friends who may or may not get it. So just relationships for me. Also, starting out here on Thursday mornings, I always end up laughing. Again, I come in, I'm kind of groggy. I'm like, oh no. And then Kevin makes me laugh, or somebody says something ridiculous. And I'm like, I really like being here. So as a whole, it's a fun environment, and it helps me remember why I'm in this. It's to serve my community and care about people.
So I would say the biggest benefit not to my business would be the personal benefit of having the people who I work with, the businesses I work with. I meet with them or a representative of them every week, right? So a few months ago, huge rainstorm, Michigan Street flooded. Turns out, restoration company, right? Lauren's right there. So her and her husband Justin were here that day, sucking water out of this basement. And you guys wouldn't know it, but even just a few weeks ago, this room was still completely full of stuff because that whole end of the building was underwater. I get to meet, weekly with the gentleman who takes care of my yard and landscaping, and my wife. Every time we come home from work, every time there's a fresh cut, she just says praise. Hey, tell Alex he did a great job. The guy who does our commercial insurance, I get to meet with him regularly. Sometimes we get to go golfing. It's really cool. When we had some financial issues a while back and we needed some money fast, Zach helped me with a home equity line of credit to get some cash. And so it just having the people immediately available to me personally, so that I could have, just use their service and benefited. It's been really great to know and trust these people even before I need anything that they are, selling.
For me, it's just a dedicated, intentional time to get focused on my business in terms of networking. And this time is always used for that. And there's a group of people there who are trying to help me with my business. So that's what I feel about it.
Yeah, I would say the accountability piece. When you're meeting with each person, you get to know what they're looking for. And then you come back the next week and you have to look at that person. Like, did you do what you said you were going to do? And it's a little hard. It's easier to do it when you don't have to see that person again. But now you meet on a regular basis, and that's reciprocated. So you sort of have accountability with each other, and that makes things move a little faster. And for me, I mean, I work hard, but I'm also lazy. If I can get away with doing something to the last minute, I do that. And this just the repetition of this every week, it keeps things moving, and it benefits me and it benefits people that I'm meeting with every week also. So that's a huge piece. And just I also go and work with other chapters. So this is one of the chapters I support, and so I'm meeting so many more people, and just seeing, I'll say this chapter itself, the growth that's going on right now is amazing. The energy that's in this room is amazing, and I know you're going to be you're going to blow past your 25 goal by the end of the year for sure. So great job.
All right, with that, we'll open it up to the room. If anybody has questions for the panel, feel free to ask it at this time. Okay.
All right.
How do you deal with people who have a phobia of the dentist? I always hear people hate the dentist. They don't want to go. They avoid it at all costs.
You have no idea. All right.
But
So try walking out into the world and introducing yourself as a dentist, right? Guess what? Everyone hates you right away, right? I have a hard time making friends. I don't tell people I'm a dentist when I'm out there because it's hard enough as it is. But I would say that, I mean, honestly, for our practice, the experience that patients have when they interact with our practice is unlike anything you've ever experienced or anyone has ever experienced. Nobody hates the dentist that comes here. They might have used to hate the dentist, but we're not the dentist, all right? We're not a clinic. Our office doesn't smell like a dental practice. It doesn't operate like a standard dental practice. We're a healthcare and wellness facility that prioritize patient experience and health outcomes more than anything else. And that I think patients feel that right away, even from the first phone call. I mean, we're a hospitality company. That's what we really are, and a patient experience company over anything else. And so by being different than any other general dental office that I could think of anywhere, that's our main thing. Okay. Question. Also, you guys didn't say we had to field additional questions. Like, come on.
Fun stuff. All right, any other questions for the group?
Dan, how long was it before you got your first referral?
My first referral was probably into my second year. And I've only gotten 4 referrals in 4 years. And you may say, oh my God, how do you stay in this? Because the deals that I do are probably about $80,000 to $350,000. So my ROI is my time coming to these, but the money part of it is not there. So that's another evaluation of what you're going to want to get out of this. I've given more than I've gotten out of this, but for me, if I got 1 deal a year, it pays for the membership, right? But again, going back to the relationships and the people, being a part of this and being able to know the people in the group and referring them to people, know they got somebody they can trust. So not a lot of referrals, but monetarily, well worth it.
All right, well, thank you guys for being.